Are you scared to raise your prices for fear of losing clients? Do you know that you're undercharging for your work, but you feel like you have no choice? If you struggle with imposter syndrome when it comes to raising your prices, stay tuned, because in this video, I'm going to show you how you can get over it so you can start charging what you're worth. Hey, CourtneyLSanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time wife, mom, as well as online entrepreneur. I wear all the hats and I do all the things. And in today's video, I want to talk to you about raising your prices and getting over imposter syndrome when it comes to raising your prices, because in my opinion, this is an epidemic, especially when it comes to women entrepreneurs. So I know this intimately because when I was looking to quit my job, I was definitely undercharging for my coaching and I really had no idea that I was doing so. I was charging crazy numbers, like a few $100 for weeks of coaching. And what was so funny about it was that it was difficult to get clients to even pay that. So I rationalized in my mind, like, oh, this price is too high, because when I was getting on the phone with people, they were hemming and hawing and saying, oh, I got to think about it, and ghosting me. And, you know, it was very difficult for me to even sell them on the lowball prices that I was offering. But it wasn't until I started working with a sales coach and I was able to learn phone sales techniques, which I talk about all the time. I actually have this video right here that you can go see, my phone sales template, what I use even to this day, that really helps me close the sale. But once I learned really how to sell over the phone and really how to leverage that phone sales template, what's crazy is I started charging prices that were 3 times the amount that I was previously charging. And guess what? It was way easier to land clients. Go figure, right? So don't feel like, you know, you have to stay stuck in these lowball prices if that's what you're dealing with. Oftentimes you might be repelling your dream clients because your prices are just too low and they're like, there's no way that this person can help me, because if she could, she would be charging a lot more for what she's offering. So I have personal experience with that. Once I raised my prices, I was able to close more clients and I was able to quit my job. So if you're dealing with imposter syndrome when it comes to prices, stay tuned, because I'm going to tell you how to overcome that. Let's get into it. All right, the first thing you need to realize, or the first mindset shift that you need to make, is understand that you don't need permission. You don't need permission. I'll say that again. You don't need permission. I think in our minds when we're brand new, there's this like unspoken rule that we tell ourselves that says, oh, I'm brand new, so I have to start way down here at the bottom and I have to really inch my way up. But that's not true. You can start out at the top. Yes, you can, especially if what you are offering really is worth it to your target market, which leads me to the second thing that you need to keep in mind when it comes to getting over imposter syndrome over your prices, which is that the value is in the ROI, not in your time. So ROI stands for return on investment. I've talked about this in previous videos, and a lot of people forget this. They think it has to do with, you know, how long they've been in this space or how many hours that they're devoting, and it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with what is the return on the investment for the client. So if the client that you are working with sees a tremendous value in whatever service that you're offering or whatever result you ultimately can help them get, then you should charge commensurate with the result, right? So me as a business coach, I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, whether they are coaches, consultants, industry experts, etc., and I really help take their businesses to where they want to go and help them hit their revenue goals. So I've had clients go on to do multi-6 figures, even 7 figures in their business. So I charge commensurate with what I know I'm able to get my clients and the results and the testimonials that I have. So if you have people that you've worked with, even people that you've worked with for free in the past, or people that you've worked with at those low ball prices in the past, but you have testimonials, you have discernible results that you can point to, and you can say, hey, I helped this person, you know, achieve this health goal, or I helped this person, you know, achieve this relationship goal, or I helped this person achieve this financial goal, or whatever it is, then you can charge according to what the ultimate result is worth to your client. So you really want to take yourself out of the equation. You definitely don't want to be charging by the hour, and you want to make sure that your prices are in line with the ROI that you provide. All right, the third thing that you have to keep in mind is, guess what? People are already spending the money. This is so funny to me. Everybody's like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can charge that, who would pay that? But then they don't realize that their clients are already paying for that, or their prospective clients are already paying that and more, perhaps just in a different arena, or, you know, with a different type of product. So as an example, I was talking with someone who was in the fitness space, and she was so concerned. She was like, oh my goodness, I don't think there's no way I could charge these prices. You know, we were talking about her creating a 4-figure coaching package for her nutrition coaching and her weight loss coaching and fitness and, you know, all of these amazing things that she specifically does to help women. And she was like, oh, I don't think that I could charge that. And I was like, girl, are you kidding me? Like, Peloton is all the rage, right? I'm buying all the Peloton stock. I'm personally a Peloton member. I love it. Guess how much those bikes are? Those bikes are like $2,500 plus the $39 a month that you have to pay. And don't even get me started on the Peloton tread. And there are people who have both in their house, right? They have both the Peloton bike and the Peloton tread, and they are subscribed to that membership. So this is what I'm saying. I'm like, you are saying to your clients, oh, I don't think you can afford this, when they're telling you they're going out and they're spending that exact same amount of money on something else and not with you. So we really have to get this out of our head and understand that what you think is a lot of money, other people are already spending on other things to solve the problem. Even if they're not spending it on coaching, they might be spending it on some sort of equipment, like an exercise bike, some sort of conference, something else they're spending it on, right? I remember there was a coach that was once talking about how she, would spend all this time, discounting her fees for marriage coaching. And then she realized that her clients were going on and getting a divorce and they were spending $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, with those attorneys to dissolve their marriage and all the drama that comes with that. And she was like, you were nickel and diming me, acting like you didn't have enough money for marriage counseling, but then you were spending 5 times, 10 times as much in order to go get a divorce. It's just ridiculous. So understand that your prospective clients are already spending the money. The problem is they're not spending it with you because you're not asking them to. All right, I have more tips where that came from, but first I want to hear from you. How much do you want to be charging for your services? Go ahead and put it in the comments below. All right, the 4th thing that you want to keep in mind is you want to target the right people. So you'd be amazed at how many people say that they're starting a business, but really they're starting a charity, in the sense that they deliberately target people who cannot afford what it is that they're offering, which is just crazy. And like I said, I find that this is an epidemic with women. We are very altruistic, we are very caring, and we think that it's good business to somehow target people who can't afford it because we think that we're doing them a service, but really we're doing everybody a disservice, because if they can't afford it, they can't afford it. So even if you can convince them to go scrape up the money to, start with you, oftentimes they're not able to finish. If you have payment plans, they're defaulting on the payment plans, or they're not able to pay for something else in their life. So really you don't want to be targeting people who do not have the financial wherewithal to, afford whatever it is that you're offering. But also you do yourself a disservice, because now you can't show up as your best self and really bring your A game to your business because you're worried about how you're going to get more clients at this low ball price because you allowed somebody to sign up for your services or your coaching or whatever at a low price. So now you need even more clients in order to make up the difference. And now you're not present. You're not really present with your clients. You're trying to hustle to get more clients on Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube or whatever you're doing. And it just creates stress all around. So I find that if you really want to be altruistic and you really want to help, it makes more sense for you to work with people who can afford you, right? Minimum, or work more at the higher end of the market. And then if you want to help those that can't, guess what? You can just give away, programs or do speaking engagements for free. Like, you can just do things for free, and then you're helping everybody, and it's fine because you have enough financial wherewithal in your own business, because you are serving clients that can actually afford what you have to offer. So you want to be targeting people that can afford you, but also you want to target people who can do more with whatever it is that you offer. So oftentimes we think that we have to add a bunch of things to our packages, but really we just need to target people for whom the stakes are higher, right? So if you, again, are a wardrobe stylist or something like that, instead of just targeting just regular people, why not target, high profile executive women who are constantly speaking at various engagements, who are constantly being invited to, speak on news channels or like CNBC or something like that, to give their expertise. The stakes are higher for them. They need to look more presentable because maybe they're doing a lot of camera work or they're more public facing. So therefore you can charge more because there's more in it for those types of women who need wardrobe styling than it is for just your average everyday woman. So in addition to targeting people who can actually afford what you offer, you want to also be targeting people who can do more with what you offer. All right, and the 5th thing that you need to keep in mind when it comes to imposter syndrome with raising your prices is you need to focus on your money mindset. So this is huge. We don't realize how often we bring our own money drama into our business, and then we expect everybody to think like we do or to have the same money hangups that we do, which is just not the case. A lot of people hold themselves back because they have assumptions about money, about other people, how they think about money that aren't true, but those assumptions might be rooted in how they were raised, maybe in the experiences, negative experiences that they've had in the past with money. And so they bring that to the table, right? A big one is a lot of people think, well, I couldn't afford this, at this point in my life, or when I was doing XYZ, therefore no one can afford this. And that's just simply not the case. Just because something was true for you doesn't mean that it is true for your target market, because guess what? You're not your target market, right? You're not buying whatever it is that you're selling. Your client or your prospective client is. So you want to make sure that you are not superimposing your, negative money beliefs on your clients. In other words, stay out of other people's pockets, right? Let other people decide what something is worth to them or operate according to their own money mindset, but you leave your money mindset out of it. So if you want more information on how to manage your money mindset, I actually have a video coming up that you can check out all about that, so make sure that you stay tuned. But in the meantime, if you are now committed to raising your prices after hearing these steps, I invite you to learn my client attraction process with my Consistent Client Masterclass, which you can get right at CourtneyLSanders.com/masterclass. So you can learn how to get clients, and now that you know that it's okay to charge more, hopefully you can earn more in your business. So if you want to see my entire process completely for free, I lay it out for you, go ahead and go to CourtneyLSanders.com/masterclass. All right, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope I gave you a lot to think about. If so, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you want even more where that came from, come on over to my podcast. It's just called The Courtney L. Sanders Show. It's both on iTunes and Spotify. And if you want even more, you can't wait for the next video, you can't wait for the next podcast, and you can check me out on Instagram at CourtneyLSanders. Feel free to follow me, send me a DM. I love chatting you all up in the DMs. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.